Welcome back to the Every Single Oasis Single series on the Girls Like Rock 2 podcast. My name is Sarah. This is my sister Katie.
Hello.
This year on the podcast, we are going through every Oasis single. We are going in chronological order. We are on the Standing Shoulder of Giants era, third single,
Third and final.
third and final single of the Sot Sog era. And this one, I mean, we have to do it because we did say we were going to do every Oasis single. So
Yes.
we will do it. Katie, what single are we doing today?
So today, Sarah, we are going to talk about Sunday Morning Call.
Sunday Morning Call. I looked up on YouTube because I'm like, I wonder if there's any other discussion or episode about this single or song. And there is. A shout out to Rob Lewis, who beat us to it a couple
Okay.
weeks ago.
Okay.
He posted one, but that was like the only one.
Yeah. It's interesting. So Sunday Morning Call, let's also say, Sarah, this is known as the song that Noel Gallagher hates.
Yeah, that's what it's most well known for, really.
That is what it's most well known for, which maybe is part of the reason a lot of us Oasis fans haven't talked about it a lot. But all
Yeah.
of this being said, I think it deserves to be given an episode.
Yeah, I mean, I never liked Sunday Morning Call, I'll be honest.
No, I never liked it either.
When it came out. I would have been about 14 when Sot Sog was released. I didn't like it at all. It just
No.
never really did anything for me. Having said that, listening to it in the last couple of weeks for today's episode, it has really grown on me,
Yeah.
this song.
I got some sort of Oasis like spell cast over me, Sarah, in my
Ooh.
late 30s because
Yeah.
there are so many Oasis songs I really just didn't give the time of day when I was younger. I listen to them now, and what happens is I just get this different feeling where I'm like, wow, this is actually a really good song.
That's so cool that you say that because that's a big part of this series.
Yeah.
Re-listening to a lot of these Oasis songs that we listened to as kids,
Yeah.
now that we're adults.
Yeah.
And Oasis got back together and they've been through so much. We've been through so much in our lives.
Yeah.
And yeah, this hits differently
It does
in
hit
my older
differently,
age
and
Sunday Morning Call.
it's funny, Sarah, because I remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about it just to prepare for this episode, and I said, oh, I don't even like this song. And you were the one who suggested to me, give it a real listen to, Katie. You'll be surprised it grows on you. So yesterday morning, popped my AirPods in, poured myself a cup of coffee, meditated in my living room and listened to this song, and I thought, yeah, my sister knows best. It is something that grows on you.
It's a Noel Gallagher grower.
I even like the guitar in the middle, like the
Yep.
guitar solo.
Yep. At the beginning too.
Yeah.
And then when he starts singing, it's a good song.
Yeah.
Actually. And it really grows on you. Give it
It
some time.
does.
Yeah.
So Sarah and I don't have a ton of tidbits on this song because, as we said, there's really not a lot of information on it. Sunday Morning Call released on July 3rd, 2000.
Yep.
So almost 26 years to the date that Sarah and I are in doing this episode.
That's right. I think it did chart at number 4.
Charted at number 4 in the UK. So kind of along the lines of Who Feels Love. It makes the top 5, but it doesn't make the top 3 like Oasis used to always make.
The beginning of kind of Oasis not being as popular.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to say downfall because there was no downfall of Oasis. But
No, and their next album did all right.
yeah. And I sound like a broken record, but Sarah and I talk so much about this, how a lot of huge 90s alternative rock bands, this happened in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam, Smashing Pumpkins, Oasis, they lost their relevance.
Yes.
But then they all came back. But that's another episode.
They did all come back. That's right.
So Sarah, it didn't make the top 3 in the UK singles charts. But you know what it did do that Who Feels Love did not do?
Oh, what did it do?
It made Rolling Stone's top 40 Oasis songs.
Really?
It did. Number 32.
Wow. Okay.
And
Didn't
number
see that
32,
coming.
so it wasn't even at the bottom. What was the one? Oh, All Around the World just made 40. So this is number 32. And Sarah, I
Wow.
actually copied what they wrote because I thought it really summed up the single well.
Okay.
So this is quoting from Rolling Stone. Quote, by their 4th album, Oasis was so exhausted they couldn't even be bothered with singular plural agreements on the title Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. Sunday Morning Call is both an audio and metaphorical come down from the raw nasal passages of the psychedelic coke fest that was Be Here Now. Noel was now in his early 30s, had a child, and was coming to the realization that he was not actually going to live forever. Liam isn't even listed on the song's credits. Though it's a great album track, the band's decision to release it as a single was a level of bananas, only matched by the fact that this melancholy dirge made it to number 4 in England.
Yeah, I mean, some of that, like what it said, I was thinking a lot about Sot Sog this week and especially Sunday Morning Call because I calculated it. Noel would have been like 32
Young.
when he released Sot Sog. Young, but I found in your early 30s, you have you have a bit of wisdom with just simply living. Because by your early 30s, you have a little bit of time where you can start reflecting a bit on your life.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that. I know that's funny to say if you're listening and you're like in your 50s, your 60s, you'll laugh and be like, oh, that's nothing. And it's true, right? Of course. But it's the 31, 32. It's just the beginning where you start thinking about your 20s a little bit and you can
Yeah.
start reflecting on it. And I just thinking about Sunday Morning Call and listening to it a few times this week, I was like, yeah, that's what Noel is doing
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And you hear that and feel that a lot with Sot Sog.
Well, yeah, standing on shoulder giants, and we discussed on Who Feels Love. It's all about Noel's sobriety
Yeah. Yeah,
and listening to Sunday Morning
for
Call.
sure.
I could see that.
Yep.
That being said, there's a lot of speculation. The song is about Kate Moss.
Oh, yes, I've heard that.
I read that in Who Feels Love. I keep referring back. So if you haven't
Yeah.
listened to Who Feels Love yet, listen to it. I talked about a Guardian article where Noel
Yeah.
was interviewed back in 2000, and the article even mentioned a lot of people speculate about Kate Moss, but he won't admit to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of them hung out, throughout the '90s,
Well, it
right?
makes sense because Kate Moss and Johnny Depp dated. Johnny Depp was on Fade and
Right.
Out. So I would imagine, and Kate Moss, another English icon. So I would imagine
Yeah.
they all hung out together at
Yeah,
parties and whatnot.
for sure. Yeah,
So regardless of who it's about, I think it's a reflective song.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, introspective,
Introspective.
and the feeling of it, Noel singing is like in the melody, it has an introspective vibe to the whole thing,
Yep.
like the lyrics and the melody as well.
Yeah.
I have a cool connection to Canada tidbit. Apparently, the first time this song was played live, July 12th, 99, in Toronto
Ooh.
at CBC Radio Studios.
Oh, cool.
I thought that was really neat. Yeah, that was
That
some
is cool.
documentary I watched.
Okay.
And around the time of Sot Sog's release, I don't know how Liam would feel now, 25 years on, but he said that this was his favorite track on the album.
It's so funny because throughout this whole series, there's a lot of disagreements between, like, a lot of contrast between what Liam sees as the best and what Noel sees as the best. Do you know what I
For
mean?
sure. I just was like, really?
Yeah.
But then Noel famously does not like this song.
But why does Noel did you ever find out though, Sarah, why he hates it so much?
No, I don't know.
I feel like there's no
It
definitive reason. He just hates this song.
Well, maybe it's a personal reason that he doesn't wanna share, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a pretty deep song when you read the
No, it
lyrics.
is.
And
It
like
is.
he's like you said, his journey of sobriety, he has a baby,
Yeah, a lot of changes going
a
on.
lot of changes going
Yeah.
on. And as just us normal people, a lot of changes into your 30s. So for Noel Gallagher,
Oh, yeah. To
like,
have your whole
um,
life in the spotlight.
crazy.
Yeah.
So maybe he just isn't feeling it
Yeah.
in that respect. This is the one song that does not make it onto Time Flies, the one single.
Well, but didn't he put it as a hidden track?
It is a hidden
Yeah,
track. Okay.
sneaky. Little
So
sneaky Noel Gallagher.
little sneaky Noel
Put
Gallagher,
it as a hidden track. So
like
you're like, do you hate it that much, Noel?
2 minutes after falling down, it gets in
Yeah.
there. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
There is, believe it or not, there's a Reddit thread for Sunday Morning Call.
Oh, Oasis people just really dive in.
So there are a few on the Reddit have just mentioned that they prefer like the acoustic version of it. And so I checked out the acoustic version. There is one. It's like this must be from like 2000. So on MTV, maybe MTV Europe, there's an Oasis Day.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
was like,
Okay.
oh, that sounds amazing. But it's Noel with Gem and they're singing it acoustically, they're performing it. And It's actually quite nice acoustically
Okay.
because and they mentioned this on Reddit where acoustically it doesn't feel like it's building up to this big thing and then nothing really happens, where with the electric guitar version, it's a bit like that. And I was
I
like,
liked
I
the
could
guitar solo.
kinda yeah, yeah, no, it's good, but the acoustic version is good. I do recommend, if you haven't heard it acoustic, it's quite good. So,
Okay.
that was my tidbit.
Okay, nice. So let's dive then into the EP, Sarah.
Yeah,
The cover,
the
keeping
cover,
on trend. I like it. It's isn't it a knocked over glass
knocked over
with
wine glass.
and I like that they're keeping the theme of the cover.
I have to say the theme
I liked
is
that.
that stays and kind of like, okay, the glass has fallen, and I think beside it is like looks like an ashtray.
Yeah,
So again, like kind of reflecting on the crazy partiness of your
for
20s,
sure.
moving on into your 30s. And so I do like that. And I remember very well that cover.
I do too.
Like we must have had it.
We had it. But what's funny, Sarah, is you and I talked about this. We remember the cover. Okay, I'm looking at it now. So yes, it's a glass fallen over and an ashtray. I was thinking that the city from the Standing on the Shoulder Giants cover was in the water, but it's in the background. So
It's in the background.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Sarah and I talked. We don't remember these B-sides at all.
This is the first single in our series where I did not recognize these
No,
B-sides. Everything
no.
else I did kind of know, but these 2
Yeah.
did not know.
Yesterday, as I mentioned, poured my cup of coffee, listened to it in my AirPods, and I was like, wow, I carry us all. Pff,
Yeah.
I don't know this at all.
Carry Us All, though, really liked that one.
I
I
so
thought that was really good.
I prefer or not prefer. I liked both. I actually
Yeah,
liked Carry Us All and Full On.
yeah.
And I was saying to Sarah, I feel like they're both really reflective on religion.
Well, you mentioned that to me, and so I went for a walk last night, and I sat in a park, and I'm like, "I'm gonna put on the Sunday Morning Call single and really listen to it," while I was, like, looking out at this pond with the geese. I don't know, really reflective.
Yeah.
And Carry Us All, the lyrics I really like, I wanted to share. "I'm just trying to persevere with the sins I have to shake from me within, though I might beware, 'cause they're just trying to wear me thin." And you're right, like, I don't know, I can't speak for Noel, I don't know his religious views or his background with religion, but, like, depending on how you grow up, your identity and religion can be, like, a part of that.
Hmm.
So he's kinda thinking of reflecting on his identity and his relationship with himself and maybe his relationship with religion too,
Yeah.
and that's a part of his sobriety journey too? Like, it
Well,
all kinda connects
it all
together.
connects to me because yeah, when you go through a sobriety journey, I don't know personally, so I can't speak for myself, but just from reading about a lot of artists
Yeah.
and talking to people, you question a lot of things.
Mm,
And a huge part of a lot of people's childhood is religion,
mhm,
whether you keep up with the religion you were brought up with or you go your own way.
for sure.
And so yeah, I just thought both songs, like I said, both B-sides have these lyrics like even everybody's gone for quick surefire solution, but faith in any god will only bury us all.
Yeah.
So kind of the idea of you're using this idea of heaven and praying to God that this will make you better, but he's saying it'll bury us all. Just the idea of yeah, kind of questioning what you were brought up with.
I think that's a part of growing up.
Hmm.
I mean, I know I had that in my 20s, like, I think that's not necessarily I it can be a good thing to go through and to
Yeah,
grow, right? And I know I sound a bit like I'm always big on the relationship you have with yourself, but I it's really important to go through all of that for yourself, and it's such a
yeah,
personal journey, religion too,
it is. It's a very
right?
personal journey,
And it's like
and
Noel is kind of sharing that with these songs,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
This is the first single where Noel sings all the songs.
yeah. I thought that was interesting too.
Very.
Yep, I noticed that.
I'd be super curious if Liam is this still his favorite song from Sod Sock?
I don't know. It's sad how little Sog is mentioned by any member of
Yeah,
Oasis.
yeah,
It's really been brushed under the rug.
yeah. It has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah,
Actually, talk about brushing it or sweeping it under the rug or whatever. I did not remember this music video at all.
Okay, it's funny. I was gonna say, let's dive into the music video. Okay, I'm watching it, and me too. I'm like, they're knocking at the door. This guy's running away.
I mean, it's definitely like a journey of sobriety and your mental health.
Well, they I read. I'm sure you read too. They say it's based on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Jack
yeah,
Nicholson movie. Now, I never
yeah.
watched the movie. I did read the
No.
book.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
depressing, very depressing
yeah, I
book.
bet, yeah.
So I thought, okay, I can kind of see that. What I think is really cool is it was filmed in Vancouver.
That is really cool when you
A lot,
told
a
me
lot of
that.
Canadian connections to this song.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I got this mixed up. I was thinking it was the "Where Did It All Go Wrong" video.
Yes.
You know that one? The only scene I remember from Sunday Morning Call is when Noel is in the man's house or apartment, and he's standing beside, like, the beads on the door.
Oh, see, I don't even. I
I
remembered
that I
nothing.
remember, but I thought that was in the "Where Did It All Go Wrong" music video, but
I don't understand. I'm curious what Noel thinks about where did it all go wrong. And I think it's interesting that there was a video for it, but it wasn't an official single.
it wasn't. I don't know how that works. It's like a promotional single.
Because Don't Go Away, Champagne Supernova, like all their main
Yeah,
albums had these songs where I always thought, oh, okay, we're Sarah and I are going to cover it. But then you're like, no, actually, that's not a single.
feels like a single.
Now, Don't Go Away was released in Japan.
Don't Go Away was a single in Japan,
Yeah.
and I'd be curious if you're listening in from the UK, did you get these videos too for, like, Where Did It All Go Wrong, Champagne Supernova, Morning Glory? Because they weren't actual
And
singles, but they were, like, promotional singles in North America.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Oh, yeah, Morning Glory too.
Mhm.
I always thought that was a single. Apparently, it
No.
wasn't because
Yeah,
we saw that video a lot.
a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, Sarah. I remember Where Did It All Go Wrong? I always love that
Yeah.
song. I still do.
It's a good song.
And I remember that video.
Yeah,
I
they're all,
remember the
like,
band hanging out in, like, a hotel
sitting
room, sitting
they're sitting on, like, a
around.
couch or
Yeah,
something, yeah.
but yeah, so that one was obviously played, but I don't think Sunday Morning Call was played, at least not here in
I
Canada on Much Music. I don't think it was played much.
I didn't remember it at all, I'll be
No.
honest, this
Yeah.
one, yeah, but
So do you, Sarah, have any personal connections to this song?
I just that listening to it now, I it's a grower, like, it really grew on me, and now that I'm more reflective, I find it, I now that I'm older listening to it, I get it, like
Yeah.
Noel singing it,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense. But I don't know if you were gonna mention this.
The dog.
Yeah, that was my one personal connection to Sunday morning.
That's my whole personal connection to the song. So growing up, my parents, we always had a dog. We had this dog, a beagle, super cute beagle named Bailey. His life ended too young because he was hit
Yeah,
by a car.
yeah.
But while he was still with us, we would play this song, and that whoa, 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 whoa
Yeah, at
song,
the
that
beginning,
noise, that just drove him nuts.
he went
He
bonkers.
went bananas. He would just run around the room looking out the window.
Yeah, like, looking around, like, where's the sound coming
Yeah, and
from? He'd start
it really freaked him
barking.
out.
But I know dogs hear a different pitch and
But
frequency.
Copper, although he's probably deaf by that time, our
He
old
might
dog Copper
yeah.
was fine.
Well, I was gonna ask if anybody has a dog out there,
Play this
can you
song.
play Sunday Morning Call and see if, like, they go bananas for it?
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. I was like, I wonder
Because
if Sarah remembers that because
I
man,
was thinking
oh
that too.
Bailey, and I remember me and our brother
It was
just
so
laughing because he was just
funny.
like,
As soon as you put it
"What is
on,
this?"
yep, just cocked its
Noel
head.
Gallagher, that is my personal connection to your song
Thanks,
Sunday Morning
Noel.
Call.
Yeah.
So Sarah, this is the last single from the Standing on the Shoulder of Giants era.
Yeah.
Do you have any final reflections for the end of this era? I know it's kind of a bigger deal at the end of Be Here Now because that was 90s Oasis with the older lineup. This is the 2000s Oasis.
I mean, I think it's really the 90s just seemed like such a wild time. We've talked about this before, just thinking about Sot Sog now that we're ending the era with the 3 singles. I do think it's underrated, this album.
I do.
It's a very well done album. It has a nice flow to it. But I think, like we were saying, this was just such a different time for music. It was a transitional period. Oasis coming from the 90s. A lot of these bands kind of your identity crisis a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And we hear this in Sot Sog with Noel and his songwriting and his lyrics. Moving into the 2000s, it was so different. And I mentioned this with Go Let It Out, Liam saying we need to reestablish ourselves, and they really had to. So I think the next 3 albums, there's a little bit more solidity with the band.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's really just where are we going, a transitional period for
Well,
them.
and Noel, where am I going? I'm sober now, and now I'm a dad.
Yeah,
Where do I
yeah.
go from here?
Huge changes.
Yeah.
Huge changes,
In your
yeah.
30s, big everyone can, I think, relate, big change from your 20s to your 30s, and I
There
think you can
is,
feel
yeah.
that in this album.
Yep, yep.
And it was just it was a weird time for the music industry.
A very weird time
Yeah.
in many ways
Yeah.
with the genres,
Genres, Napster came around, people were
Napster,
really
yep.
freaking out.
Yes, what do we
What
do?
do yeah.
Yep,
So
yep.
a lot of people asking, "Where do we go from here?"
Yeah, yeah, and I find that, with Sot Sog I will say it is too bad they didn't add a couple of songs from Sot Sog to the reunion
I think they
tour.
should have added from every single album, but that could be another episode in
Yeah.
itself.
I mean, Who Feels Love, Go Let It Out, like, these are fantastic songs,
Yeah.
and they are fan favorites, I
Yeah.
think, some of them.
Sarah, if you could have heard one song from Standing on the Shoulder of Giants played live during the reunion tour, what song would you have selected? Let's end our Satsug era with that question.
Honestly, listening to it more in the last couple of months, I would almost say Gas Panic.
Yeah,
That would have been really cool.
that would have been really cool.
In, like, the middle?
I
We
I think
Okay.
when Noel had his acoustic set, I think before Little by Little, he should have whipped out Where Did It All Go Wrong.
Oh,
People
yeah.
with the like organ, oh, people would have got
Oh,
excited.
yeah, because it was what? Talk Tonight, Half the World Away, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, we go into Where Did It All Go Wrong? Yeah, that'd be
He
cool
should have
too.
started like as a little teaser with like that opening guitar riff of Half the World Away. So I was like, oh, okay. But then
Ooh.
do do do. And
Yeah,
all of a sudden it's
yeah,
like, whoa, like the hardcore Oasis fans out there. I saw you at the concert, guy, with the 2000 Oasis logo on your shirt.
yep.
I
That
saw
would have
you.
been cool. I
That would have been
know,
cool.
I know. Although to end this, how freaking cool was it that they walk out to Effing in the Bushes?
That was cool.
I mean, that was
That
really
was cool.
cool.
That
That
I
just
still get goosebumps when I hear that song now.
Yeah, it has
And
a
them with their
unique ring
hands
to
embraced with
it.
each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
cool.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, all the chills,
Yeah.
right? So that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to make a final point to say if you're watching the Sunday Morning Call episode, you probably do know Standing on the Shoulder of Giants.
I think so.
So
Who's watching this?
if you haven't listened to it lately, dust it off, listen to it. I think you'll enjoy it.
You think it's dusty on some shelves?
Oh, I'm sure it's very dusty on some shelves. Yeah.
Dust that off.
Dust off the Sot Sog, put it in your Discman, and
Do it.
yeah. Listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a good one. Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate your time. Stay tuned because we have some really great singles coming up.
From Sarah's favorite Oasis album.
That's right. My
so
favorite.
Sarah will take the lead on those ones.
That's right. Oh, super excited for Heathen Chem. Thanks so much, and we will see you in the next one.